What if I told you your brain doesn't just shut off when you die? What if, in your final moments, it actually turns up? For centuries, we assumed death was simple. The heart stops, the brain goes dark, and that's it. Lights out. But new research is telling a very different story. And it's stranger than anything a horror movie could invent. Let's start with what actually happens first. When your heart stops beating, blood stops flowing to your brain almost instantly. Within about 10 seconds, you lose consciousness. This is the point most people assume everything simply ends. But your brain cells don't die immediately. They can survive for several more minutes, starving slowly for oxygen. And in those minutes, something extraordinary happens. In 2022, scientists studying a dying human brain recorded something nobody expected. In the 30 seconds before and after the heart stopped, brain activity didn't fade out, it spiked. Specifically, gamma wave activity surged. Gamma waves are the same brain waves linked to memory recall, dreaming, and deep concentration. In other words, the dying brain may enter one of its most active states. This isn't just one strange case either. Animal studies on rats found nearly identical patterns. As the heart stopped, the brain showed a synchronized burst of activity, almost like it was trying to make sense of what was happening, or perhaps replaying stored memories one final time. Some scientists believe this could explain the famous life flashing before your eyes phenomenon that near-death survivors have described for decades. Think about that for a moment. People who have been resuscitated after cardiac arrest often report incredibly vivid experiences. Visions of light, a sense of leaving their body, memories replaying in perfect detail. For years, skeptics dismissed these as hallucinations or oxygen deprivation glitches. But if the brain is truly ramping up activity right as it's shutting down, these experiences might not be random noise at all. They might be the brain's very real, very active final performance. So why would evolution do this? Why would a dying brain spend its last moments working harder instead of shutting down peacefully? One theory suggests it's simply the brain system failing in a cascading, chaotic burst, similar to how a dying star can flare brighter before it collapses. Another theory is more haunting, that this final surge could be an ancient survival mechanism, a last-ditch attempt by the brain to find any possible way to save itself, flooding the system with heightened awareness in case there's still a chance to react and survive. There's also the question of time. In these final moments, does time even feel the same? Some researchers believe the flood of gamma activity could compress our sense of time, making minutes feel like hours, or entire memories replay in what feels like an instant. This might explain why survivors often describe their near-death experience as feeling like it lasted far longer than the few seconds or minutes it actually took. Of course, this research is still incredibly new. Scientists have only recorded this kind of activity in a small handful of human cases, mostly by accident, during unrelated medical monitoring. Nobody can say for certain what it truly means to the person experiencing it. Consciousness researchers, neurologists, and philosophers are all now racing to understand what this brief window really represents. But here's the truly unsettling part. If this is universal, if every human brain does this in its final moments, then death isn't the quiet fade to black we always imagined. It might be the most vivid, intense, electrically alive experience of your entire life. One last surge of thought, memory, and awareness, compressed into just a few fleeting seconds before everything finally goes still. And maybe that's oddly comforting, because if the science is right, the brain doesn't slip away quietly. It goes out fighting one final blaze of activity, doing exactly what it always did best: thinking, remembering, and trying to make sense of the world right up until the very last moment.